Okay, it's 5:30 p.m. I will call this meeting to order. Council, thank you for being present. Staff, thank you for being present. Community members, thank you for being present as well. Would you all roll call, please?
Mayor Rodham?
Here?
Mayor Pro Tem Perry?
Here.
Councilmember Kathy?
Here.
Councilmember Willie?
Here.
Councilmember Holly Harris?
Here.
Councilmember Starnes?
Present.
Councilmember Flores?
Here. Would you stand and join me for the pledge, followed by the invocation? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tim?
Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this glorious evening, this glorious day. Thank you for sending the rain this afternoon. Lord, we ask that you bless this meeting and all of the people in attendance, especially those officials that will be making decisions that affect this city. Lord, we ask that you bless our country and keep our soldiers and our first responders safe. We ask that occurs tonight is pleasing to you and in accordance with your will. We ask all this in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Tim. Our announcements, I see our pet of the month just walked into the room. And I know we had some feedback on regarding our pet of the month about not being able to see our pet of the month on the camera, and I'm sorry, our cameras are fixed, so
Yeah, I'd love to pick her up, but she's so nervous.
yeah, well, so am I, so that makes two of us.
This is Sky. She's on the TV right there. You can see her.
Yeah,
She is a 1-year-old Catahoula Heeler mix. She's got these lovely, beautiful, bright eyes, and she's just a very sweet dog. She's great in the car. She's great on a leash. Her energy's really good. She doesn't really bark that much. She gets along with all the dogs in the shelter. So, and when she first came, she was completely shut down. She was hiding in the corner, all that, and she's come so far. So, we tested her out on a man, making sure she's friendly, and then we tested her out at Tractor Supply too, making sure she'd be okay in a public space. But we're excited to hopefully find her a new home.
How long has she been at the shelter?
She's been in the shelter about 2 months now.
And you had an adoption event this past weekend, is that correct? How did that go?
It went okay.
Yeah.
We got one dog adopted.
Awesome. So I'll give our citizens just a little bit of information, but first I want to thank our animal control officers for the job they continue to do in our city. You've done a fabulous job, you two ladies, since we've hired you. Thank you for the work you're doing. And our Paul group, I believe, our volunteer group that is volunteering out at the shelters, I thank them for the work they continue to do as well. It's turned around the way the operation of our animal shelter is being managed through our animal control officers and our volunteer group, and I'm so impressed with it. So if you know someone, or if you're looking to adopt a pet or to even foster a pet, we offer the opportunity to foster one of these pets while they're in our pet care, while they're in the city's care. So we do offer that opportunity. Drive out there. It's right out here by the water treatment plant, the sewage treatment plant, and meet with them. They'll get you fixed up with one of our pets, and I encourage you to take advantage of that. And if you have any questions about it, call down here to City Hall, and we'll certainly get your questions answered.
Hey, Mayor, I'd also like to recognize our chief tonight, who's over animal control.
Yes, he is.
We were a little short-staffed this weekend, and he took it upon himself personally to come in on Sunday, feed and water the animals and clean the stalls out. So I just want to say thank you for making sure that the animals are well taken care of.
Thanks, Chief. Appreciate that, Chief Metters. Any other announcements, Tim?
I just would really like to thank all of the city staff and the volunteers that helped make last Saturday such a success. I was extremely proud of the city and the event that we put on, and hopefully it is the start of a long-standing tradition. So thank you to everybody that was involved.
Absolutely. We have anyone signed up for citizens' communications?
Ladies, there's some chairs up here, Miss Stearns and Miss Mendoza, if y'all would like to come sit up here. We'd love for y'all to join us so we don't have to stand. There's another one right here, Mark.
So I have two that are signed up to speak on an agenda item. I guess that's correct. Debbie, you want to speak in regard to the homecoming? In regard to the homecoming, and Denise is going to do that, so that's that's for the homecoming results? Okay. And then, Mr. Goodman, you are signed up to speak now, sir. So if you would step up to the microphone, state your name and your address, please, sir. And you have, you'll be on a timer. You have 3 minutes to speak, sir. Thank you.
All right, my name is Billy. I live out in Talbot Ridge. And first time here, I just thought I'd take advantage, come up here and actually address y'all. Really, I guess to start off with, shoot, we're a little nervous of whenever y'all go to these executive sessions and have your conversations like you are tonight with Project Roller Coaster. You know, we really don't even know what that is until it's too late. You know, like Project Bluebird, it come through, went through, and nobody knew what it was till it was over. And I doubt very many people know what it really was now. You know, other than that, well, back to Bluebird, we feel like if y'all gonna sit up there and raise our taxes or control how much we pay or what have you, that maybe you ought to pay your fair share too. You got two members up here that are in a tax abatement agreement that's illegal, according to the ordinance set out by Rockdale and the tax code by Texas. Can't be a council member and enter into a tax abatement. So that was kind of concerning. And one of them's been going on for a couple of years. The other one just started. And I told them not to expect nothing, but that's it. And if you plan to address that or whatever. Anyway, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'll just, I hear what you said. I just let you know that we cannot enter into any direct dialogue with you, but if there's, if we heard something that council would wish to put on our agenda, then that would be something that we would put on our agenda. So, but I appreciate you coming and speaking your voice tonight very much, sir. Thank you. Okay, moving along from citizens' communications, we'll move to presentations. The first one is recognition of Brian Wallace, who is here tonight with his wife Angie, for 35 years of service for the Rockdale Volunteer Fire Department. Brian, you want to come up here, buddy? Sure. So I'm going to read this letter, and I may get a little emotional. Brian and I served 35 years together in the department. We made a lot of calls together, a lot of hard calls. And let me tell you, when you're an emergency responder, no matter what kind of emergency responder you are, whether you're paid or a volunteer, it's a commitment. And it's a life commitment. And you do and see some things that you probably should never do and see. And that sticks with you. And when you commit 35 years of your life for no pay or no compensation at all, that shows a true commitment to the citizens that you serve. I'm very proud of you. With that said, from the City of Rockdale Office of the Mayor, Mr. Brian Wallace, Rockdale Volunteer Fire Department, Rockdale, Texas, 76567. Dear Brian, on behalf of the City of Rockdale and our entire community, I want to express my deepest gratitude for your 35 years of dedicated service to the Rockdale Volunteer Fire Department. 3.5 decades of volunteer service is an extraordinary milestone. It represents countless hours away from your family, sleepless nights, and the selflessness that defines the very best of our city. Your unwavering commitment to protecting lives and property of your neighbors has made Rockdale a safer, stronger place to live. Thank you for your sacrifice and your outstanding legacy of service. With sincere appreciation, Ward Rodham, I'm not going to call myself mayor. I'm going to call myself your buddy and your fellow firefighter. Thank you. I'm going to share a little more personal inflection, if I may, if you would bear with me, since I'm not so emotional now. I think Brian started a year after I did in the department. Yeah, 1990, and we took it on wholehearted. We went to training together. We went to a lot of training together, and we took it very serious. And I'm not talking in a boastful manner at all. I'm talking in a proud manner. I don't know if you say, well, definitely, unfortunately, we have battled some of the historic fires here in Rockdale, the Artage Antiques fires, the Brookshire Brother fire, some of the other very large fires here in Rockdale that, just were tragic fires, and other very tragic events that I won't delve into because those are things we don't discuss. But when you have someone by your side, there's a saying in the emergency response business that, and this may sound not fair to you as a citizen, but there's three most important people at a scene. It's yourself as an emergency responder, it's your fellow firefighter, then it's a victim. So that's how you have to take care of things. But we always took our business very seriously. We always considered, even though we were a volunteer at the fire department, we always considered ourselves professionals. And we trained like professionals, and we really believe we responded and served like professionals. And I still think our volunteer fire department carries that legacy on today. And I continue to be very proud of our volunteer fire department. And I know our council has that same opinion, as our council has shown a true commitment to our volunteer fire department with the money they're putting back through our budget to support the fund to buy a new fire truck when the time comes. But enough from me. Brian, would you like to say anything?
I thank y'all for, acknowledging the years of service and dedication that not just I, but many people before me have done for the city. It's been a complete honor. It just comes to a time where it's time to retire and let the younger guys do it. And Rockdale's always had, I'm talking about always had, one of the best fire departments in the world.
That's correct.
That continues to this day. And until you go and you see other departments, you don't really realize what you have until you need them. And that's unfortunately a lot of people know how good they are because of that. But no, it's been a complete honor and a privilege to serve the community I was born in, live in, and now it's on to other things.
It is.
So.
And your son Braden is
my
carrying on that legacy of the Wallace family in the
Yes,
department.
yes, sir. He has been involved about 11 years, so. Yep, his turn to carry the weight. I'm gonna go have fun.
That's right.
Thank you, everybody. Thank y'all.
Well, I'm going to remain standing and equally as proud, read this proclamation. Wow, and this one is something else. I tell you what. Whereas the city of Rockdale, Texas takes great pride in honoring the brave men and women who serve the United States Armed Forces. Whereas aviation's boatswain's mate fuels Airman AF Abfan Benjamin Blanco. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct.
Grandma.
A sailor of the United States Navy with proud Rockdale roots has served our nation with honor, courage, and commitment, and is currently stationed at Naval Station Norfolk, Virginia. And whereas Abfan Blanco deployed aboard USS Gerald R. Ford CVN 78 from June 25th, 2025 through May 16th, 2026, standing watch far from home in defense of freedom, security, and the interest of the United States. That just gave me chills. And whereas this deployment became a historic and record-setting tour. Do you realize how long that deployment is? That is a year. That is a year of being deployed and standing watch over our great nation. So folks, that we may enjoy the freedoms that we all enjoy being here in this room. This is what this young man is doing for our country and continues to do today. Conducting 23 replenishments at sea and supporting thousands of flight operations. And whereas Abfan Blanco's tour, including services during Operation Southern Spear, Operation Absolute Resolve, including the mission period associated with the capture of the President Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela, and Operation Epic Fury, demonstrating the readiness, strength, and resilience of the United States Navy, and now therefore it be proclaimed that the city of Rockdale extends its sincere appreciation and heartfelt recognition to aviation boatswain's mates Fuels Airman Benjamin Blanco for his honorable service to our country, his steadfast commitment to duty, and his safe return home. Historic deployment highlights include 326-day deployment aboard the USS Gerald R. Ford, longest USS carrier deployment since the Vietnam era, more than 57,713 net nautical miles sailed, 23 replenishments at sea conducted, carrier air wing 8 logged more than 5,760 flight hours, more than 12,200 flight launches supported, service across the U.S. 4th, 5th, and 6th Fleet areas, service during Operation Southern Spear, Operation Absolute Resolve, and Operation Epic Fury. Carrier Strike Group 12 recognized with the Presidential Unit Citation. Returned safely to the Naval Station Norfolk on May 16, 2026. Be it further proclaimed that the citizens of Rockdale remain grateful for Abfan Blanco's service. Keep him in our thoughts and prayers, and proudly, I got chills again, and proudly celebrate his dedication as an example of courage, patriotism, and service before self. In witness thereof, I, Ward Rodham, Mayor of the City of Rockdale, Texas, do hereby set my hand and cause the official seal of the city to be affixed this 13th day of July 26, recognizing aviation boatswain's mates, Fuels Airman Benjamin Blanco, and witness whereof I have hereundo set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Rockdale to be affixed 13th day of July 26, Ward Rodham, Mayor. Congratulations and thank you.
Yeah. He was on Joe Ford. That's awesome, right?
We appreciate
We appreciate you. Take a picture. Let me move this chair so you can take a picture. Can somebody grab, let me move this chair. Yeah, I will get in the picture.
Yeah,
Proud Navy.
you wanna get it?
Yes,
Yes.
Would you like to say anything? Sure.
I'm just so proud of him. I mean, he's been through a lot from a child, and he just did good, and he just went and, after school, just went straight into the Navy, got his religion, and he's a great boy after everything he's been through.
He
hero.
He served his country
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Thank
What are
you.
What are his plans after he gets out, you know?
He wants to be a policeman.
Oh, we have 2 openings here now.
Computer number.
That was great. Good
What a great night. Thank you, Esme. Okay, and now we will receive a post-event presentation from the Rockdale Homecoming Association.
We have a little slide show. Some of the pictures from the event. So the name of our organization is the Rockdale Homecoming Association, and we have the privilege of planning the homecoming every year. And this year was the 92nd homecoming for Rockdale, so it's been going on for a long time, since people used to come in horse and buggies to Rockdale to spend the night. So they used to stay at the Fair Park. There weren't hotels back then, so, and the city provided watermelon, is what we found out. The city provided watermelon for their enjoyment. But we had the event at the Casey Hall. There were 160 people there. We had the band, the Monkeys band came, the community band came and played for us. And we also had a flag ceremony by the Sons of the American Revolution. So they came over from College Station and did our flag ceremony for us. So we had a big time. The people who come really enjoy it. So we want to continue the efforts to have it every year. And this year we honored, do you want to talk about the classes we honored? Oh, okay. We always honored the 50-year graduates from Rockdale High School. So it was 1976 graduates. And there were over 35 of them there at the homecoming. They planned their reunion the day before so they can spend the night in Rockdale and come to the homecoming on Sunday, because our event is on Sunday. And they were there in numbers. And then we also honored the 1951 graduates who graduated 75 years ago. So they had been in touch with each other all this time. There are 12 of them still living, and 7 of them got to come. So it was a great reunion for them.
We honored the Parsleys, Mr. and Mrs. Parsley. Let's go ahead with the slideshow.
Could I add to that, please? So the Parsley family is my in-laws, Martha and Harold Parsley. I married Catherine Parsley. Lord bless me.
You married
Way beyond I deserved. Way beyond I deserved, I'll say. So, and we were in at a destination wedding for one of our best friend's daughters. So unfortunately, we weren't able to be there. But my brother-in-law Lee, I heard he did a very good job at his speech, and he's quite the character. So I'm sure he did. And I told you, Debbie, thank you at your previous presentation before the event, and your group. Thank you again for recognizing the Parsley family. It's very special to us, and that's been a very special family to this community for many years, so thank you.
I did want to say, the reason we're really here is to talk about the hot funds that you provided for us. So every year, we ask the hotels how many people are coming into town to spend the night for this event. And for the past 2 years, it's been 30 for each event. And we do think that we are one of the major events that brings people to Rockdale to spend the night. I mean, we've tried a lot of things here, but I think ours is one of the major ones. All right, I'm done.
I'm going to,
Congratulations.
Can I ask you one question? Did you, all the hotel, motel, or motels that you asked to report to you, were they compliant with your request?
No, out of 6, 3 were and 3 weren't.
Okay,
And the ones who weren't just didn't make an effort at all. You know, I could tell that but I did provide a flyer for them this year. So everybody got a flyer, so they knew what we were talking about, and they could show it to the people who checked in, and they could say, is this why you're coming to Rockdale? You know,
I don't want you to share it publicly, but I would ask that you write that information down of those that weren't compliant and give that to our city manager, please.
okay.
Thank you.
Will do.
Am I able to interject at all?
Because I think I just provided you information of the ones who did respond, excuse me.
Per their charter, they have a city council member be on their board, so I'm happy to join their board this past year. It was a great experience. I learned a lot. There's a lot of work that goes into this, a lot of history that they put together, a great group of people, and I just can't say enough about all that. With that being said, because it's been going on for almost 100 years, maybe this is a little early to say, but I think it would be a great idea if we consider partnering with the Homecoming Association in the future to make sure that we keep this event going on for years to come.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Tim, thoughts?
It's definitely something, you know, I think with a new event coordinator, that's something that we can help take some of the load off and make it even bigger and better and help promote it wider. And so,
Thank you.
I just don't want it to wither away, you know?
Thanks. Thank you.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for
Great.
providing the documents that y'all, you know, the hotel compliance and all that stuff. I mean, y'all even left flyers. You know, thank y'all for coming back and sharing the report.
Okay.
That one sticks out in my mind that the Homecoming Association always comes and provides a good information what they're doing and what they, you know, when they come to request the hot fund. So thank y'all for that.
Thank you.
That's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of work, like Esmeralda said.
It's a lot of work.
It is.
We
It's a big
appreciate y'all.
event.
And I believe Debbie, she was the president, but now Ms. Starnes is
Yes.
going to be taking over. So thank you, Ms. Gray, for all your service and your years of service and your time. And Ms. Starnes is going to do a great job.
Good.
I look forward to being here next year and coming in.
Good, all right, you get to come. You can read your own mayor proclamation next year. We had to cover for you.
Thank you.
y'all so much.
Thank you all.
Thank y'all. Okay, moving on, council consent agenda before you is, I'll ask, is there anything that you, before we entertain action on the consent agenda, is there anything council requests be taken out of the consent agenda and moved into the regular agenda? Is there anything that council requests be moved from the consent agenda to the regular agenda? I'll entertain action on the consent agenda as written.
I'll make a motion that we accept it. Excuse me. Got my mouth worked on today. I'll make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as provided.
I'll
Motion.
second that.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any discussion? All in favor of said motion signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to the regular agenda, agenda item number 6. Consider and take any necessary action on appointees to the Library Advisory Board. Tim, is everyone here?
There are a few of the applicants that are present, I believe. I see Michelle, I'm not sure who the other,
Sparky.
oh, Megan is here.
Dave?
They were all invited, but, you know, of the, and Dave is here. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Sparky?
So there are a few, if you'd like to invite them to say a few words. There are 5 appointments. You will make an appointment for 3 of them to serve 2-year terms and 2 of them to serve 1-year term.
And I see it's your recommendation to appoint these members.
Yes, I do recommend that these board members be appointed that we get the library board reactivated. We actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 applications. I wish every board had that much interest in serving. But we have some great applications. If you recall, Tiffany Witzel and Megan Birdsong were on the board previously, although Megan didn't serve at any meetings. And also, Michelle Tungate actually is in the ETJ, and you're allowed to appoint up to 2 members from the ETJ, but she is the only one currently in the ETJ. But if you look through your packet, there are some really good applicants in here, and if you want to invite any of those that are present to speak, Mayor, that would probably.
I will just give the opportunity to anyone who wants to speak. You have the opportunity to speak. If you'd like to speak, you're welcome to speak.
So we had 10 applicants and we have how many positions that we need
There
to?
are five positions, 3 2-year appointments and 2 1-year appointments. And then those 1-year appointments would be reappointed to serve 2 years,
Recommend which ones?
or could be reappointed to serve 2 years at the end of their first year term.
And how many of the applicants are present? Here, I see 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are present here tonight? That are applicants? Okay.
So, and one of those was a previous member, is that correct?
And Dave was
No.
Dave's been on it.
Tiffany?
Dave was a liaison.
and prior to that, he was a board member as well, right?
No.
He just loves the library.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I wasn't quite prepared for us to pick 5 out of this group of 10, to be honest with you. I know that one of the applicants that was in here that reapplied is doing something with the school this evening, so she couldn't be here.
Yes, sir.
Personally am tickled that there were that many applicants, and I would prefer to pull my name out if there are qualified people, because we've always looked, I know, we've always looked for people to fill these positions, and the fact that you have 10, I have no problem.
You're not getting off that easy, Dave.
I don't think we've ever got 10 applicants for any kind of board.
And David also applied for the Building Standards Committee, which we really need to fill as well, but we don't have enough applicants yet.
So could we, of these 10, we have other positions that need to be filled in other committees. Could we poll them and ask them which ones might be interested in, and it may already say in here, sometimes we ask that question, what other committee you might be interested in serving on? Because I'd hate to lose anybody that's willing to serve on any,
I agree.
in any capacity on any board.
They have some boxes checked. I see what you're saying.
Find out if there's any that are willing to serve on some of those other open positions and put them in those other positions and use the 5 that are, I don't think there's anybody on here that I would not appoint on the,
I agree with that.
We don't want to lose anybody.
can we do that?
You want
Yes,
to appoint
there's,
today?
if you're not comfortable making an appointment, making the appointments tonight, it can be tabled and put on the next month's agenda.
I would hate to appoint Dave to this and one of these other people that was willing to do it, that didn't get appointed, and then we lost the person altogether.
Well, and like I said, David also applied for the Building Standards Committee. I think Tiffany Witzel was the one that had marked several different boards. She's already on the Parks Board, and she had also indicated the MDD, which right now there's not a vacancy on the MDD board.
Parks Board, because
No
library board.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Libraries are.
I'm sorry? Yes. So really, I think that we have a vacancy on the Plan Commission. We have 2 vacancies on the Plan Commission and several vacancies on the Building and Standards Committee. Those are the boards where we need the people the most. So I can reach out to these folks and ask them if they're also willing to serve on any of these other boards before you make a decision.
I would feel better about that.
I
Like
believe,
Ms. Witzel is passionate about the library. She's on parks because library
I know one of the applicants.
disbanded.
One of the applicants is involved at libraries at the ISD. There's a couple of teachers that have applied. And then there's somebody that has been on the board previously. So, but I will reach out to all of them and find out their interest in serving one of those other boards.
Can we put a list of open positions available and send it out to these people and say, would you consider one of these other positions? Bring that information back to us?
Yes.
Thank you.
With that being said, would it be fair, I would just hate for the people that already came today to have to come again, right? So maybe the people that came today, if they want to share something, or,
Oh, if they want,
was that fine?
yes.
Yes.
Without the obligation to have to come.
And here's what I need to say this. For those of you who are here tonight, I don't want you to feel discouraged,
Right, that's what
okay? Because we're a small city,
we just want everybody.
and we want to try to do our best to fill all of these boards that we have vacancies in, and we have a great group of qualified people here, right? And we're excited about that. So we want to try to do our best to fill all these boards with great groups of qualified people. We want to take advantage of this opportunity that is in front of us. Not saying we want to take advantage of you, we want to take advantage of this opportunity. If you would like to get up and speak, I would encourage you to take this opportunity at that time. Whoever wants to stand up and speak, you're welcome to. Bibi?
Hello, thank you for the opportunity. So my name is Bibi Saavedra Villarreal. Fairly new to the community, been here for almost 5 years. I'm a lifelong avid reader. That's why I was very, very interested in joining the board. I feel that having public library and access to the resources that the library provides is key to any great, successful community, to those who don't have access at home, to be able to have those resources, whether it's books, learning, access to the internet, anything like that, to help them find success in whatever path they have. Aside from that, I am a mom of a special needs child who I didn't think would read at any point. He was nonverbal for the first 5 years of his life. He loves reading now. He is academically thriving, and I love when he reads and he learns and he's learning bigger words and he's reading better, and he says things to me like, "Mom, I have a big brain and I'm smart." And that's what reading does for our family, for him, and I know that it could open so many doors to other children in the community, which is why I'm really passionate about joining this board. So thank you for the consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Spark?
Well, my name is Sparky Thomas. I signed up for the library board, but and I would love to be on the library board, but I'm not nearly as qualified as Bibi for that. And I heard you say something. I don't know if this is the place to do this, but I heard you say that Tiffany, who would also be great on the library board, is on the parks board. I think I would be better on the parks board, having run the Rockdale tennis tournament for 17 years. And so that might be, and also since my son's the tennis coach, I would maybe like to do that. So if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you,
thanks,
Sparky.
Spark.
Thank you, Sparky.
You know anything about buildings?
My wife does.
Anyone else like to speak?
I'm Laura Cullen. I also applied for library board. I've been in Rockdale here coming up 8 years in August. I've been an English teacher at the high school, and I'm about to start my Master in Library Science program at UNT online starting this fall. So it's obviously something I care a lot about. And I've been on the library advisory committee at the school since it started last school year. So libraries and reading and everything they provide for the community are very important to me. So thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Appreciate it.
Great problem.
Yeah.
So, anybody else?
Michelle, did you want to
Did anyone else want to speak?
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
No.
You don't have to speak, it's just an opportunity to speak.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Anybody else that's applying, can you stand up, maybe?
Michelle?
Michelle.
Okay, just so it's to know you put a face with a name. You don't have to speak. You don't have to speak.
Michelle.
It's Kelly
Thank you.
Brotherton here.
Oh.
Then Alyssa
Anybody else?
Tibbetts. And
Okay.
Who's the last one? It was Miss Birdsong. You Miss Birdsong?
Yeah, that was Miss Birdsong.
Not here.
Oh, no, Miss Birdsong, that's
And
BB.
by the way, Avi, I had expected had said he was going to apply. I talked with him last week. He changed his mind. He said he's just really, really busy and had decided
No,
not.
Avi Gottlieb, he had applied the previous time, yeah. Okay,
I'll make a
Maybe in
motion
the future.
okay.
that we table item number 6 until a poll can be put out to see if we can coerce some of these applicants onto some other spots that the city may need them. And when the city manager gets that report back to us, we will fill this board.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any discussion?
Sounds good to me.
Being no discussion, we'll vote. All in favor of said motion signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously.
As the mayor said, thank y'all very much. Please don't get discouraged. We really, really appreciate the position that you're putting us in. So, we do. We really do.
It's a great position. And BB, just for the record, I do continue to stay engaged with Chief Metters regarding the autism training for our officers. We continue to discuss that. That is still in the forefront of for our officers, so that hasn't gone away. So just wanted you to know we've not forgot that. Yes. Okay, moving on to regular agenda item number 7. We're going to conduct a public hearing and receive a presentation on the completion of the Texas Department of Agriculture Sidewalk Improvement Project. So before the presentation, it is 6:13 p.m. I am officially opening the public hearing at 6:13 p.m. Is there anyone here who wants to speak at the public hearing regarding the sidewalk project, the Texas Department of Agricultural Sidewalk Project? Anyone that wants to speak during the public hearing phase of agenda item number 7 regarding the Texas Department of Agricultural Sidewalk Improvement Project?
And I would just point out that this sidewalk project is the one that ran along Milam Avenue and Bell Avenue that the city did in collaboration with the MDD. It is not the one that runs along Bell between Milam and on Main Street between Bell and Milam.
Not on Main, correct? Is that what you're saying?
Two different projects.
Okay.
So being that no one has wanted to speak, the public hearing is now officially closed at 6:14 p.m.
Thank you for having me here today. My name is Veronica Pata. I work for KSBR LLC, and I have been the grants administrator on this project. And TDA does require when a project is complete that we hold a public hearing and just present on what has been done with the project. I will let you know that we are in the reporting stage, so I do not have numbers today, but I can definitely get those to the city manager to provide to you all on what those final numbers will look like since we are still working on the reports. That being said, here's some information about the grant. This was a competitive grant that was funded through the Texas Department of Agriculture. The applications were due back in 2023, May 3rd of 2023. The national objective was slums or blighted conditions. Therefore, the city chose to focus on the sidewalks improvements. We did apply for a $500,000 grant and were awarded that grant. The MDD did provide a 15% match, so thank you for that. The grant was awarded later 2023 in November, and by February of 2024, the city had a TDA agreement and kicked off the project. Since then, the city procured KSA engineers and ESCO Boring LLC to complete the project. And as of last month, the project has been completed, and we are in the reporting stage that we can process the closeout of the grant. This is what the map looked like during the pre-application. All we knew at the time, and all the city knew, is that we wanted to work on sidewalks along Bell Avenue, Ackerman, and Malam, and potentially Green Street. So this is what we were discussing during pre-application. However, after looking at costs during that time, because this was 2023, we decided to narrow it down to just Malam, Ackerman, and Bell Avenue. And so this was the map that was provided at application. And then this is your final map. So we're going to provide you more on the linear footage and stuff, but this was the final map that was accepted and submitted and was signed off on by the city manager at that time and the KSA engineer. Initially, we thought the grant funds would enable the city to reconstruct about 2,000 linear feet of concrete, 1,410 linear feet of curb, 120 linear feet of handrails, 17 ramps, and 2,000 linear feet of electrical conduit. However, during the construction, there was some concrete that was still able to be used. There were some areas that we didn't have to do the reconstruction on or the installation on, and so those numbers did decrease. However, the number of ramps did increase. So those are your final numbers for what was done out there.
Councilmember Willie, I'll let you ask it or I'm gonna ask it.
Is this where that is?
I don't know. I'm gonna let you ask the question.
Okay.
Please ask.
On Main Street.
Can you pull up a map so I can see me?
Yes. On Main Street, on the MDD side, it appears that looks like new sidewalk. Hell, I can't see that far out.
That's okay. Just ask your question.
Okay. There's one side on Main.
I don't believe that was this project, but I can definitely clarify.
That is,
Yeah.
That's not where you,
that's the TechStop project.
where y'all have the black railing and the other side has the silver? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we didn't do any work on Main.
Okay.
None of that,
That galvanized.
galvanized pipe, is this part of this project?
They're saying that's all text.
That was TechStop.
Okay.
And I think is that temporary?
Looks like I did it, and I don't want
No.
to tell you.
I think that's temporary.
The galvanized.
I think that's temporary.
It is not temporary.
That is not.
Oh.
The galvanized pipe is not temporary. I've got to call into them in regard to the quality of workmanship. And to find out
Yeah, it's bad.
if
Real bad.
if there's an opportunity to have it powder coated black or
Or match their other rail that's right beside it that they put in.
they had, and this is
Anyway,
not part of this issue.
yeah.
Yeah, this is not on the agenda, but just know it's a concern.
I'm glad it's not me.
It's not you, you're right.
What I do plan to do, though, city manager, is I received today pictures from after, so post-construction, and at the beginning during pre-application, Shanna and Jim provided pre-application, so I'm going to put together those pictures so you can see before and after and provide it, so if you want to share it later, you can, but I just got them today, so I'll be putting that together so the city has it, yes, absolutely.
So do we use all the money or is some money left over?
So there is some money left over in the MDD's match. So I need to complete the report so I can report those numbers back.
Handrails need to be getting done.
Yeah. So there was some money left over. However, we can no longer, we did have to extend the project once with TDA. We can't extend it another time. So we are going to be giving back some funds to them, but I don't believe it's a large amount. I'm working on the reports with them so we can give you those final numbers. And then I received the final invoices from the engineer and construction so that we can get those also paid. Once I have all that in TDA Go, which is the grant management system that TDA uses to keep track, then I can report it all to the city.
And if you recall, with that change order she was talking about, we actually added conduit for the light to be able to put electricity in.
Yeah, we just unfortunately couldn't install the lights because it's not permissible through the project, through the grant.
But the conduit's there to be able to run the power for those lights in the future.
Okay.
Thank you so much. You guys have a
Appreciate
great evening. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, agenda number item, conduct a public hearing, agenda 8, I'm sorry. Conduct a public hearing and consider taking any necessary action on an ordinance approving a street name change requested by the Rockdale Band Boosters. Let's see, at 6:20 PM, the public hearing is now officially open. Is there anyone that'd like to speak during the public hearing phase of this agenda item? State your name, please, and go ahead.
Okay. No? They told me to wait.
They don't understand the public hearing.
You don't want to speak during the public hearing phase?
You can.
You can, you're welcome to.
Basically, during the public hearing, you're going to say whether you're in favor of or opposed to the project, the proposal.
Yes. I'm here for the discussion. I'm sorry.
And that's, you can speak at both.
Okay. Well, I'll keep this short and sweet. Good evening, everyone. My name
Wait, so
is...
you do want to speak during the public hearing? If not, I need to close the public hearing.
No.
Okay.
No.
Let me ask this one more time.
Go ahead.
Is there anyone here that wants, you don't have to sit down, sir, you're good. Is there anyone here who wants to speak during the public hearing phase? Okay, it's 6:21 PM, the public hearing is officially closed. Go ahead, sir, thank you.
All right.
I just have to keep it legit.
No, I get it. You have your rules. We have ours. I'm new to this, so I'll keep this short and sweet. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayor, City Council, City Manager. Thank you for allowing us to have this opportunity to speak tonight. My name is David Limon, and I am representing the Rockdale Band Booster Organization. We are here to propose a street name change for a one-block section of Childress Street. This proposal is about recognizing a program that has represented Rockdale with pride for generations to continue to come and the impact that the students make to this community. Slide 2. The street we are asking to rename leads directly to the heart of the band program. For so many students over the years, this street has been a primary route to the experiences that have helped shape their lives. Therefore, we are proposing to rename this one-block section to Big Blue Band Lane. I know it's a mouthful. We worked on this for a while. Which is located between Murray Avenue and Pecos Avenue. The name Big Blue Band Lane is meaningful because it reflects what this location has represented for decades. Before bringing this request to the City Council, we wanted to ensure that those mostly affected by this opportunity to review the proposal, and we are grateful to have the support and the approval of the Rockdale ISD Superintendent, Dr. Watson, as well as the Murray Street Church of Christ. Their willingness to support this proposal is what makes our community special, and we sincerely appreciate their partnership. There is and there will be no physical addresses that will be impacted by this change. Slide 3. For many years, the Big Blue Band has proudly represented our community at football games, for their marching contests, for their UIL events, their concerts, the parades, and numerous community celebrations. These students dedicate countless hours outside of the regular school year to achieve excellence. And they do this so willingly and proudly, carrying the name of Rockdale wherever they go and wherever they perform. We are making this request to honor the students that have impacted this community in the past and that will continue to impact it in the future. Therefore, we thank you for the time and we ask for your consideration for this request. We will be happy to answer any questions at this time.
No brainer for me.
I like this.
Yeah, I love it.
I think it's great. No residents are impacted whatsoever?
None.
No 911 addresses are impacted, no
I love
residents.
it.
I'll make a motion.
I-
I don't, y'all are welcome to speak if you want to, but I don't think it's necessary, it sounds. I can't speak for council, but from what I'm hearing, council, you ready to take action?
We love the big blue band. We
I'll
love it.
entertain action on this agenda item.
We're ready to rock and roll.
Make a motion that we, what action item is it? Eight. That we accept. Agenda item number 8. Eight as read, and that we, adopt the ordinance following the public hearing.
I'll second that. And then, go ahead. No, go
I
ahead.
have a motion and a
You can
second
vote
on the
for it.
floor. Is there any discussion? Did you want discussion?
No, just brag on them when you're done.
This is awesome. You can brag on them during discussion.
Oh, okay, so let me go ahead and brag. So we love the Big Blue Band. I think everybody up here, a lot of us are alumni of Rockdale High School. So I think when we hear the drums and all that, it just kind of brings us back to
It's part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's part of Rockdale. So I think it's definitely yes for most of us. And what I want to say is, if y'all recall, I think it was last year, we recognized the Big Blue Band.
We did.
And we did a proclamation because y'all did such a fine job in doing the sesquicentennial. Y'all did your whole presentation, I forget what you call that, honoring our city. So I think this is the least thing we can do. So thank you.
Yes, thank you for bringing this, for being willing to bring this to council. I'm, as mayor, and I think I safely speak for council, I'm excited to see how much our council is getting more involved with our city and our citizens and our schools. So that's a great thing.
Thank you.
Okay.
I do have to say, I'm always impressed. You know, football practices move from early morning or early evening, not band practice.
Not band, they're out there
on that
sweating.
dirt. They're out on
Right
that
on
dirt field in the hottest part of the day when I drive. by.
Yep, they're earning every step
Yeah.
they take. I'll say that.
Okay, council, you have a motion and a second. Before you, is there any further discussion?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor said motion signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
We should have brought the drum line.
We should have. We'll bring them next time.
Okay.
We gotta go to band booster meeting.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank y'all.
Take the good news with you.
Thank you.
Bring Daniel a shirt.
Agenda item number 9. Agenda item number 9, consider and take any necessary action on a resolution authorizing submission for a grant to the Texas Department of Parks and Wildlife. Tim?
So the Rockdale Parks Board met last month at a special meeting and recommended that we go ahead and reapply. We applied for these funds last year and were unsuccessful. What we are doing this year, we had actually applied for projects at 2 different locations at Skate Park and Bridge Park. We've combined those, moving the pickleball courts over to Bridge Park. So we're submitting an application for a $750,000 project. It requires a 50-50 match, and we have funds that have been raised through donations. We also have funds available through the tax note for the match, and so this is a step that we would need to take in order to submit for that application that'll go in early September.
Did you say 750 and it's a match, so it goes up to 1.5?
It's a what we're applying for is a $750,000 project, so it would be a $325,000 grant,
50-50?
$325,000 match.
What's the maximum we can apply for? When
Seven
I
hun-
look at this,
The maximum you
750
can
doesn't
apply
build.
for is $750,000,
So that's the maximum.
and that would then require a $750,000 match.
If we apply for it and we get it and 750 doesn't build that, what happens?
Well, $750,000 isn't going to build that.
That's what I recognize. And that's why I want to be very clear.
We're working on the scope. Basically, the scope of the project includes 6 pickleball courts, the pond, the fountain, a walking trail, rehabilitation of the bridges, relocation of water and sewer, relocation of sewer lines, parking, fencing, and restrooms, and splash pad. Yeah. But it's not going to have all of that, and it also will include some lighting as well. it's not gonna include the lighting and landscaping that Scott was able to put together. That's a AI generated, and he and I are gonna work on.
City of downtown Dallas generator. But it shows the layout because the pickleball courts, bringing those into this project and putting them on the side there, you know, we initially had them at the top left where the splash pad is. So we've made some changes. This is just a layout to kind of show where everything would be going.
I mean, there's not a plan for that big pavilion necessarily on the south. The way that the trail goes is, will end up being a little bit different, because that would actually require a third bridge, the way.
Here's my concern. People only remember parts. They get selective amnesia. And they remember this. And we go for this grant and we get this grant and we're able to build little parts and pieces of it. And then they're mad because they didn't get what they thought they were getting for their money of their match.
This map, as Scott had put together, is not necessarily for public dissemination.
It is right now.
Yeah,
I don't-
careful showing that.
I don't know how it got
And
in
so,
the packet.
and that's my only concern. I don't want us to get a bunch of feedback when we can only build part of it. So we just need to be mindful of that.
Yes.
Is there,
Public, you have heard me say that. You're not getting this for $750,000.
is there a priority on what, I mean, like, Councilman Perry said, that's not gonna, 750,000 is not gonna get that. So is there something already in place, or is there gonna be something that, okay, we gotta cut this, cut that, to get that to where we need it to be?
Well, and in actuality, we'll be able to get most of this, except it's not gonna look as Taj Mahal. I mean, probably $700,000 in landscaping proposed there, by itself, and lighting. So, but the elements that I did talk about, we are looking at doing include the pond with a fountain, and it's not gonna be a big, huge monolithic fountain. It'll be a fountain that'll probably float on the water and help recirculate the water. Include a splash pad. The sewer line has to be relocated. We do plan to put restrooms and picnic tables, grills, and the walkway and the bridges will have to be rehabilitated. The Parks Board asked that we actually add a fence along the highway to make sure kids didn't, toddlers didn't go away from their parents and run out into the street. So the elements are there, it just won't look like that.
And an updated rendering, are we gonna purchase?
We are gonna put together an updated rendering.
That'll be more realistic towards what we'll get for the $750,000. $750,000.
Yeah.
When does this application have to go?
Goes in, I believe it's at the beginning of September. We are working with Langford on the application. And they are not charging us this year, because they charged us last year for the application, so to resubmit, there's no additional fee.
Is part of that application, does that have to have, do you have to show them what you're gonna do with your money at that point?
Yes. And we had a very, very generic drawing that we used last year, which he said was fine. The Parks Board had asked for a better rendering of what was gonna be portrayed. And I was actually working on that. I had gotten a proposal from KSA to give us a rendering. Scott did this on his own, and it looks fantastic, but we need to make sure it accurately reflects what we are envisioning.
So you're gonna use KSA to help with the more realistic
Potentially,
costs
yes.
associated rendering?
That's gonna be free too, right?
Yeah.
You said KSA, that's not free.
What was the reason it was unsuccessful last year in the grant application?
It did not score high enough. I don't know why it didn't score high enough.
So that's a great question. What did we learn from our last application that we can improve upon with this year's application to try to have better success?
I will have to get with Langford. We are actually supposed to have a meeting with Texas Parks and Wildlife to have that discussion to show what we can improve on.
And when will that?
At two different locations, it weakened the applications, I think. Having it at a single location, I think is gonna present a stronger project.
And
courts with the.
more defined
Right.
effort.
And I just want to take the opportunity to say that I love this project. I think Councilman Starnes and I talked about this probably about 3 years ago, so I'm excited to finally see it, getting worked on. However, I do see what Councilman Perry is saying with his concerns about all this huge list of wonderful amenities, but is that really going to happen? I would like to see if maybe the Parks Board or you all, maybe we could take out the splash pad. We already have a splash pad. I mean, maybe we could do that, because we need to have.
We already
things
have pickleball courts. I'm just saying, that's the question.
We have pickleball courts?
One of the things for the splash pad was kind of serving a function to try to aerate the water so it didn't have as much chlorine.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because we do plan to stock the pond with fish,
Right.
and we wanted to support aquatic life, so that was
So
my
that's why we
idea.
added the splash pad.
That's why we added the splash pad
I
there.
love this project. I believe we need more parks, especially on the east side. Of course, I'm passionate about that, so I'm all for it. But I guess I also have my concerns about, are we really going to be able to deliver all this?
Mm-hmm. And it may have to be developed in phases as well.
Do we have any money to put towards this?
We have about $240,000 in the tax note that we issued that tax note for. There's about $90,000 there's about $60,000 in donated funds that we actually have in hand, and about another, I think another 55. The Rotary Club and Riot have said that they would donate. We have letters of commitments from them.
Okay.
That 80,000, that's together, not as it each or together? On Riot.
I'm sorry, $80,000 is a total between the Rockdale Rotary Club and Riot, total. And then we have about $72,000 that are in the bank from other donations, smaller donations that Dave was successful in raising, and then we have the $240,000 from the tax note.
Right. In that donation from Riot, I recall speaking to them a while back, and they also were including in-kind donation, like work. Is that included in the 40,000?
I'm sorry?
Did they also communicate in-kind donations, just
Is that
providing
40,000
Right.
inclusive of in-kind,
Kind.
or is that 40,000 plus in-kind?
Because they had said they were going to do both.
I think it includes it.
You think it includes it?
They said that that was that was their financial commitment, and they said they would be willing to also do in-kind, or do in-kind as part of that.
As well, right?
well.
That's right. I'll ask them again. Thank you.
And does,
And in-kind contributions do count as part of a match.
does Texas Parks and Wildlife have any concern that that's in a flood-prone area?
And they did not raise that as a concern last year when we submitted the application. I mean, that's actually kind of why we're putting the pond there because it is
It already
a flood-prone area, so you have to design it appropriately, so.
Some refurbishing the bridge would be refurbishing the one that's there, I guess, right?
I'm sorry?
The
Yes,
refurbishing the
the
bridge would be the one.
would be, right now, one of the bridge has no decks. The other bridge the deck is in really, really bad shape, so both of them would have to be redecked. They would both have to probably be sandblasted and repainted. Not sandblasted. I've heard that was not a good idea, but they need to be rehabilitated so that they're not painted and cleaned in some way.
Yes, go ahead, Joan.
I know the Rotary, our money we designated to go toward restoration of the bridges, which is sort of an emergent situation. They're deteriorating very fast. So priorities, we talked about that bridges would be right at the top of the list. Or else we're gonna lose the historic.
Okay.
So Rotary's money in y'all's mind is kind of earmarked for the restoration of those bridges? Okay. Good to know.
Okay, council, any other questions regarding this agenda item?
So all we're doing right now is
Approving a resolution for action.
move forward.
Yes,
To be able
for
to
submission of a grant.
Submit application for the grant.
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution to move forward with the application of the grant to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Local Park Grant Program.
A motion and a second on the floor. Is there any discussion? Being no discussion, we'll vote. All in favor said motion signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Agenda item number 10, conduct a public hearing to receive public comments regarding the 2025 Annual Drinking Water Quality Report. Consider taking any necessary action on approving the 2025 Water Quality Consumer Confidence Report. It is 6:40 p.m. The public hearing is officially open. Is there anyone that wants to speak during the public hearing phase regarding the Annual Drinking Water Quality Report? Anyone that wants to speak during the public hearing phase of the Annual Drinking Water Quality Report? Being that no one wants to speak during the public hearing, I'm officially closing the public hearing at 6:41 p.m. Gerald?
We sent this out in May. Everyone in the city got a copy of it, that customers. We posted it, I put it on our website, so it's been out there for quite some time. Have not received many comments. In fact, none of that I'm aware of about this year. For the second year in a row, we've had no violations from TCEQ on water quality of any kind. Our last two audits have been relatively clean, just housekeeping stuff, the flat roof on a ground storage tank, things like that. But everything is going really well right now, along with the changes with the piping, and I think we'll see this even more as we go forward. We've had a major decrease in water main breakage, so things are going pretty well.
Are we still at no leaks across the city?
We had a couple turned in this weekend. Most of them are service lines that are leaking between the connection and the main, but 3 or 4 is all that I'm aware of right now.
So I did a little research myself, and based on the information I could find, it said the 2025 City of Rockdale Annual Drinking Water Quality Report confirms that the municipal groundwater systems met all federal and state safety standards during 2024. Testing indicated that the detected contaminants, including inorganic compounds like barium, remain below the maximum contaminated levels, and the system infrastructure maintained a 5.24 million gallon per day capacity. That fair?
Yes, sir.
And then
we also, and we talked about this, I think, last year, we've had our second audit from samples taken for what they call forever chemicals, and we had none in our water system. So other cities in this area have not been so lucky if they're on surface water, because they get a lot of plastics and microplastics and things like that in the water. But in the well systems that we have no forever chemicals.
I love that. I think that should be a headline in the newspaper.
I think we, as a council and as a city, we've been very transparent about our water, and we've been very transparent about every time we get a complaint that our water quality tests come back superior. Very proud of that. We know we still battle problems within the lines when there's a pressure drop where we have not put our new lines in and got our new lines in service. So we're continuing to work hard at that. Is there anything you'd like to say about that, Gerald?
No, expanding on what we talked about last time, you approved the additional line footage. I was about 15,000 more linear feet of water lines to be put in. So I'm just really proud of my guys and what the department's done, the manning that we have now that has the licenses, and I think we've made big steps in the last few years.
And correct me, all 5 wells are operational.
Yeah.
Operational. So there's one that was down for a while, and it is back up and running.
And this is a little bit off topic, but yet it's on topic regarding, winter will be here before we know it. Will we have our backup generators in place and hooked up before winter time?
It's gonna be close. Right now, they're projecting January, but we are making progress on that.
Thank you.
Off subject, but on subject, there was, prior to Mr. Kelty being here, Gerald was involved with it. SLR was making applications to pump groundwater, and there was a potential for our wells to possibly be without water if they pumped the
Affect the drawdown on our wells.
drawdown on our. What was ever put in place? Was there anything ever put in place for us to be able to measure that, and make sure that that didn't get forgot about from one group of council or one group of?
Post Oak Savannah measures our wells regularly, and any changes they let us know about, and I talk to them occasionally to see if there's anything. We don't have a reporting. We can go on their website and look at it, but I've talked to them in the last few months, and everything's in good shape right now. We have lost a little bit on one well, but that started several years ago before all this, and the SLR agreement we have with them is only for the airport wells anyway, so we're not seeing any major issues right this time.
Council, any other questions for Gerald?
Thank you.
Thank you, Gerald.
Thank you, Gerald.
Agenda item number 11, consider and take any necessary action on an amendment of the KSA engineering contract for the Clean Water State Revolving Fund, water treatment plant improvements. You're still up, Gerald.
Thank you. The last council meeting, we tabled this until we looked at a payback. For some reason, I'm not sure, it might have been my fault, the payback analysis that I did was not part of your package, but you should have had one put on your, in front of you before the meeting started. And basically what we did here is just a very simple payback based on the minimum amount of savings that we would generate on a yearly basis, which would be a 50%, and in all documented writing that I can find on the subject is a 50% to an 80% reduction in haulable solids that you would, or weight, not solids. The solids will be the same, but the total weight based on the removal of the water will be reduced by up to 80%. And I just calculated this based on 50% using a straight line integration from what we've done this year and last year, with starting in 2028 with a 5% increase in cost. And it shows to be about a 10-year payback on a piece of equipment that should last between 20 and 25 years.
And I also asked about the potential to use the funds to pay off the principal early. I checked with our financial advisor, and the debt is not callable until 2030, and it's at 0% and 1.5% interest. So they recommended not doing that, but we could sit on it for 4 years and then apply that. But at 0% or 1.5%, it would probably be advisable. We do have a payoff, net savings, I think, over that 10-year period.
So I see what you put together here, but I also did a little bit of research, some of the potential costs associated with a screw conveyor. Did we take into consideration power consumption cost?
No, sir.
Do we take into consideration mechanical maintenance cost?
Those would be just normal. I mean, we spent about $15,000, between $15,000 and $18,000 this year on the two pieces of equipment. The gate broke off of one. I mean, I didn't consider it to be a significant, it was going to be an incremental charge. Now, electricity will be more, but I did not take that in consideration. That's why I stayed with the 50%, is to offset some of the other costs that would be associated with the operation.
This screw conveyor, will it be compiled with a dewatering press?
It is a dewatering press.
It is dewatering, okay.
Instead of You have belt presses, and you have screw conveyors, and you have centrifugal dewatering. And this is a screw conveyor where it takes it, brings it up through it, and continues to compress it until it gets all the water out that it can, and makes, instead of a slurry, it's a cake that you put out the end of it.
So it'd be fair to say that taking into consideration the power consumption and the maintenance, these numbers would probably go down.
I believe so. Yes, sir.
Fair enough. But sizable? It's just a guess, huh? I don't know. I know, right?
I think when you take into consideration also the reduction in landfill material that we're putting in from an ecological standpoint, and the ease of operation that this gives us, I think that those all offset some. Now, I could be wrong, and the cost of electricity might be 300% or 300 times what we're currently paying, but I don't believe that's the case.
Okay.
And he also was conservative, in the savings, using the lower number, 50% rather than the 80% in the savings reduction.
Would it be cost effective, or is it possible that we can do our own preventive maintenance on it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. As we grow, as our department grows, there's going to be a greater demand for mechanics, or at least one more mechanic with more hydraulic and electrical experience. And so, yes, it's definitely possible that we could do a lot of that in-house.
But based on my research, you are on target with your ROI. My research indicated a 5 to 10 year return on investment. So,
Okay, thank you. I was trying to be conservative on it.
yes, sir.
And you say good life is probably 20 years, 25 years?
Yeah, Alan and from KSA and I were talking about it before. I had originally said 15 to 20. He said he thought 20 to 30. So, again, I was on the conservative side of that.
Okay.
It's not really something the technology, I mean, there's no technology to it, so that doesn't. Okay.
Council, any other questions for Gerald?
Is the dollar amount of 2,141,545,
141.
is that inclusive of the 400 or no?
Yes, that's an OPC. Well, that's the numbers that were on the sheet that KSA gave us.
So the machine, the work associated is basically that 2 million number minus 400,000?
Yes, sir.
We feel confident that this is a solid projection. Change orders not forthcoming. Okay. I don't like damn change orders.
I'll make a motion that we approve the $400,000 for the, I guess the
Screw conveyor?
Press.
the engineering and planning for the screw conveyor project to KSA Engineering.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any discussion? Being no discussion, we'll vote. All in favor of said motion signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Thank y'all for going back to the drawing board and putting this information together as requested by council. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Agenda item number 12, consider and take any necessary action on awarding a bid for the asphalt street reconstruction project. Boy, Gerald, you're a busy man tonight. And you hadn't got mad at me yet.
You know what? When you get to be my age, you know, sometimes it's just not as long as it should be. I apologize for that. But I used to take it out on my wife, and now I just let it come out at work. So.
Good for you.
He appreciates that.
Mm-hmm.
We have the 2025 tax note that was approved by the council. We have the, $1 million And this year, we've set aside $500,000 of that to do road work. As you know, the Planning and Zoning Commission went through the information that Ben had put together and came up with the choices for the roads that we would like to repair. Of course, Redbud being the most in need in the city, except for one lady on Redbud is mad because it's going to speed traffic up in front of her house. But other than that, I think everybody, one of the engineers that came and looked at it said that our bad streets couldn't compare to the ones they had in Waco. And then after he saw Redbud, he said, "I apologize, I was wrong." So anyway, Redbud's number one, and then we have Houston, San Gabriel, and West Belton. And we had a bid package put out, and I think I told you that it was open to any kind of bids. We sent it out to Lone Star, Alpha Paving, and Stallion, because they had done work in this area on the state highway, out at Cornerstone and on O'Kelly. And so we were very happy with all the work that those three had done.
And Stallion is also known as Salvation Site Services, which was the bid that we received.
Yes, we have two of the gentlemen that work for them if there are questions as we go further about the company, if you have questions or about their work. So anyway, Alpha Paving and Lone Star did not come back with quotes. From what I understand, that they are very, very busy right now and decided not to post a quote or bid on those. And so the only quote and bid we had was from Stallion. And we recommend, based on our investigation and discussion, even with Alpha, who I respect a lot, says that they do an excellent job. So our recommendation is that we accept this. And Mr. Kelty has requested that we do the entire four streets, which takes it up a little over our $500,000 price tag.
So when we put the bid out, we actually had Redbud, West Belton, and San Gabriel as the base bid streets, and then we added Houston as an alternate, because we wanted to try to get as close to the 500,000 as we could. With all four streets, it does take us a little over. It takes us up to about 520,000. So we will have to come back to council. If you approve this award, we will have to come back with a change order or not change order, a budget amendment for the extra 20,000, which we do have available. We just would have to budget additional money for it.
Do we have an order set, what streets come first and when can they start and when will they complete this?
Well, Redbud was our highest priority, but we bid Redbud, West Belton, and San Gabriel as the base bid.
Okay.
So you could just award those three streets, which is 402,000. Houston was an alternate bid number one, and it was 117,000.
But that's the order they would start the streets in, so I'm saying they'll do Redbud.
Oh, as far as how the order that they would construct them in?
Yeah, we haven't really discussed that yet. I think we probably would go in that order. What we've done on Redbud is we have cut the street already, leaving the curb. And once they get the contract, we're going to find out when they would be bringing their equipment in. And then we are going to actually break up the concrete and haul it off. The Public Works Department's going to do that. So we have to have a coordination there, but I anticipate Redbud would be first.
And like I said, what is there a start date? Do we know when and estimate it when they'll think all
That'd be a question for them.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm from Salvation, we'll be the general contractor on it. We're right now about 4 weeks out.
Okay.
So the sooner we can get a contract together, the sooner we can get, and we're figuring 60 to 75 days.
So if council approves the award tonight, then we'll put the contract together. They'll have to provide performance and payment bond, and then we'll schedule a pre-construction meeting and get them going. But one of the things I did want to make council aware of, because you probably will get calls, the plan on Redbud is to remove the trees in the median, and there's also 2 or 3. Is there 2?
Probably 3.
3 large trees that are just outside the curb line in front of people's houses that are, if we don't take those trees out, it's gonna damage the road, and it's
So
not.
the island's not gonna be there at all anymore? They're just gonna take the trees out and leave the island in for grass to mow? I mean,
Yes, the island would have grass, and there might be a couple of trees in the island that we could leave, but I just,
we're gonna hear something.
want to look at that. I would be concerned about the roots damaging.
Oh, I know. But also, there wasn't rebar in the concrete we found out too, right?
Was it
There
rebar?
was no rebar, yeah.
Yeah.
And those other
That
trees,
didn't
are-
help.
they're in utility easement anyway, aren't they?
Yes, the trees are in the easement, in the right-of-way,
Oh, is there?
so we're not taking them out, but
Make sure y'all leave y'all's numbers too.
I will be, I will be speaking directly with those homeowners before we take the trees out.
Oh,
But they're
yeah.
not gonna be happy, so they're gonna be calling you.
They haven't been made aware that those trees are.
No,
Well, we haven't done the total evaluation yet. It may be that we just somehow go in and go down 4 foot and cut all the roots that are there, and it'll be another 25 years before a root comes over there that could cause any trouble. The 3 trees we're talking about, I think, are all 3 live oaks, and very large live oaks. And so, at least two of them are in our right of way. The other one is kind of half and half. And so, once we get this approval, then we were gonna follow up on exactly what we're gonna do with those 3 trees. We are gonna or at least plan on taking all of them out of the median.
So I thought I just heard you say you think you could go down and cut just some of those main roots that are growing into the street as opposed to taking the tree. Did I misunderstand you? I'm sorry.
That's an idea that I've had, and I'm going to look into it, but I don't have an answer if we can.
I'll probably get a tree expert.
That would be an arborist?
We'll
Yes,
get a
sir,
tree
an
expert to make a recommendation in regard to that.
I'd
The last thing I want to do is take the
Yes.
roots out on one side and have the trees fall over on the house.
So,
I put Dave Melton on this.
But all the trees in the middle of the road are coming out. Those are the plants.
At this point, that's the plan.
Okay, good.
so I would, Tim, ask that you contact an arborist in regard to that, and let's get some input, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
I heard you say the city, is going to remove all the concrete on Redbud. What are so we're leaving concrete curbs, putting in base, and then putting asphalt on top of that base?
Yes, sir.
So the curb is,
Spec'd out.
the curb
Somebody's
is staying.
decided how much base is needed?
Yes, it was in the specifications that we put together. We identified how much space and.
That's based on the core sampling?
Well,
Gerald?
we didn't do core sampling on Redbud. I think we can ask them to let us know exactly what the plan is. Don't remember right off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah, there were a couple alternates, on there with, cement stabilization. I don't know if you want to go with that, cause I know on the other 3 roads, we're gonna be milling up the asphalt, just mixing everything up 8 inches thick. And the same thing on Rosebud, the only thing that it's calling for on here is just, do the same thing, reclaiming and then, cement stabilization. But again, cement stabilization is all an alternate, so I don't know if you wanna do that or.
What's that alternate? Because if you don't put something under there, you can regenerate, I mean, you can mix up sand and you still, at the end of the day, you
Well,
got
the
sand.
concrete there is 6 inches? About 6 inches. So, I mean, there's gonna have to be work done on the base, to bring it back up so that we can put the asphalt on top of it. So yes, we're not just gonna take it up and lay asphalt over the top of it. We're gonna break it up, we're gonna, put new base underneath it. It's just whether or not we use the cement, yes,
And stabilization.
stabilization.
How much was that alternate?
It was different for each street. And then there's also a 95, compact a sub-base to a minimum density of 95% prior to the asphalt overlay. But, on Redbud, the cement stabilization was $4,400. In West Belton, it was $31,000. Is that right? No, it was nothing.
But it can't be $4,000 a cement stable. That was on Redbud?
Yeah.
And Belton, you said it's 31, 33?
19,000 on San Gabriel, 16,000.
And one of the things that we also do, we have, in the past, when we were doing base, we have Portland cement in super sacks, and we have a couple of super sacks left. So as we take this out, and before we turn it over to them, we will put down road base with the Portland in it.
And on the other three streets, we're stripping and milling and
Reestablishing the base.
using that for
Compacting it.
base.
95% compaction, and then
And then 2 inches of asphalt, new asphalt over the top of that. And what are the curb and gutters there currently?
West Belton has predominantly got curb. Houston doesn't. St. Gabriel, I think it's hit or miss, but
Is there any curb and gutter work in this?
no, there's not. No, it's stripping it down and bringing the level to the bottom of the curb.
Are we 100% sure that all the Next Link, all the AT&T, all the new water line work, all that is done before we put a new street in and then go tear up a new street to do a water line?
Well, Mayor,
I mean, I'm not
you're a
I'm not
religious
talking
man.
about a leak.
That would be like asking me when Jesus Christ is coming back. I can't tell you for sure.
I'm not talking about a leak.
I don't know if what's going to happen tomorrow.
2% chance, I think, on the.
Didn't take long for him to get
I don't mean to be flip, but I just don't know the answer to that.
We really can't control the other utilities. Is it water and sewer? Are there any water or sewer concerns on these streets?
No, so not that I'm aware of.
But the goal has been to remove
Everything off the streets.
You know what we're going to look like? What we deserve.
There is nothing in any plan that I'm aware of that will take the street out.
Thank you, Gerald.
Thank you, yes, sir.
Seriously, I want to circle back and say thank you to Ben from last year for putting this group of streets together, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the nasty, and identifying our streets. And then thank you to our committee that was formed that went out, and I think, Joan, you were a part of that committee. I don't know who else was. I apologize to those. Thank you. Who went out and actually drove these streets and put their eyes on them and came up with the recommendation of the good, the bad, the ugly, and the uglier, and what we should start with. So thank you to those people who put boots on the ground and time and effort in these recommendations for us to go.
They did an outstanding job. There's no doubt about
And
it.
it did illustrate how long the road is ahead of us.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and ideally, we'll get this project done, and we'll be coming back in January or February with bids for next year.
Okay. Council, any other questions for Gerald or the gentleman from the paving company or Tim or Ben or? Any no questions, I'll entertain action on this agenda item.
I'll make a motion that we award the street bids for Redbud, San Gabriel, and West Belton, and Houston to Salvation Site and Services.
I'll second that.
With a motion and a second on the floor, is there any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
If we need to exercise those alternates, where's that money coming from? Because you need to exercise those alternates.
So for so in the award that you just made, that would include all the alternates. And if,
519,
I'm sorry?
the 519,000?
Yes.
40 is inclusive of all four?
It includes all the alternates, and in order to do, and I will be coming back to council with a budget amendment to add that additional money in from our tax note.
it's inclusive of all those alternates.
Yes.
Correct.
31 to 19 to 4,400, and what was the other one?
12,000, not
12,000.
The base bids are 402,860 for the first three streets and $117,080 for alternate number one. And that includes all of the alternates for the concrete, cement stabilized subgrade.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Being no discussion, we'll vote. All in favor said motion, signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank y'all. I think that's, y'all done an outstanding job with these things.
Thank
Got
you
one more.
for,
Thank you, Gerald.
thank
Got
you for
one more,
putting this
Gerald.
specs
Thank
together.
you.
I know that
What's
was,
that?
I said thank you
Agenda
for
item
putting the
number
specs together.
13, consider taking any necessary action on purchasing security cameras
Thank
for
you.
utility facilities. Thanks, gentlemen.
Rogers?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Huh?
Jared Skurlock?
Yeah.
He's about to marry my daughter this week.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. On your behalf.
Why didn't you mention that before we voted on it?
I won't wait until.
Well, we've been looking at cameras for the utilities, and of course, City Hall and other places for the last 3 years now, and the police station. And we finally said it's time to get these for the utilities. There's a lot of things going on, cybersecurity and physical security and infrastructure, especially water treatment, wastewater treatment. It's just a very high potential, not necessarily in the city of Rockdale, but in the country in general, in the world in general, that water treatment facilities can be a very dangerous thing to let fall into the wrong hands. So we're recommending that we put video cameras in at the water treatment, wastewater treatment, well site, and we actually put one that will actually cover the dog pound in the area outside of the wastewater treatment plant, and that's what you have before you. We did have 3 quotes. 2 of them are used Verkada technology. One's put in by a company out of Wiley, and the other one was put in is by Link, and that's one we're recommending for $62,461.79. We also looked at MCA of America, which came in at $74,458, and the Wiley quote was $84,217, but that was on a 5-year contract. The recommended, and we've looked at this quite a lot, is Verkada equipment installed by Link out of Weatherford, Texas.
And you may recall, when we did the budget amendment, we actually took the camera systems out of the general fund for like the police department, city hall, the library, but we did leave them in the utility fund for those high security reasons for the, you know, the state that we're in right now with our water and sewer systems being potentially targeted. It was important that we include we do move forward with those. And I also, you know, this is for a 3-year system, and the license, you know, can be renewed. We're estimating it's going to be about $4,500 for 1 year, or $11,000 for a 3-year extension on this.
This is a cloud-based system. The cameras themselves have a 10-year warranty, but the licensing is a year-to-year licensing agreement.
And this proposal includes a 3-year license.
So it basically holds it forever in the clouds, or how does that work?
That's the license you're talking about.
Yes, and it's on
Again, I
each-
can't guarantee
it's
forever.
broken down.
Yes,
That's the plan.
long-term, yes.
And there's a,
It's kind of like our IMGIS system, which is also a cloud-based system.
there
There's
and-
no limit and no time that 6 years that it goes away or anything.
How many total cameras are we looking at?
I actually counted them up the other day. I'll tell you that if we go
That was a
on to your next
question that I
question.
didn't anticipate.
So I did a little research on the Verkada cameras, and I found some pros and some cons.
Okay.
I'm going to read you the cons that I found first. The pricing is prohibited. The Verkada is one of the most expensive commercial systems on the market. Hardware costs are only the baseline. You must purchase the software licensing, which you referenced. Every single camera active on your network requires a software license. You're aware of that?
Yes, that's part of
Okay.
it.
It's not one license covers all, it's every.
Every camera has to have a license. If
So
you
then
choose not to renew your software subscription license, your entire system shuts down. The hardware becomes entirely unstable. It cannot be repurposed to run on an open source,
It is
local, or third
proprietary.
party.
It is
Sir?
proprietary.
Yes, proprietary. I was concerned about that.
Yes, sir.
I was also concerned that it's the most expensive brand on the market. Some of the pros, however, are zero server infrastructure. It's industry-leading AI search. It's very bandwidth friendly. No offline gaps. If you lose your internet connectivity, it continues to maintain whatever it records. So that's positive. But as a city, as we, I don't like to use the word struggle, as we continue to try to be very cost frugal and concerned, are we making the right decision by spending our citizens' money on one of the most expensive cameras on the market? And I'm not throwing that question directly at you, sir. I'm asking council that. I have to be able to answer that to our citizens. So what other cameras did we look at?
Well,
I know you said 2 or 3 more, and you referenced a higher price.
well, let's start at the beginning. We don't have good camera system at our Mill Street location. Mr. Bonnet, Assistant Public Works Director, we went online and we bought 6 months ago, 7 months ago, some inexpensive, very inexpensive cameras that has a Wi-Fi connection to a, does it go to a DVR? And we did it for $1,000? No, what was it? Oh, I thought it was more than that. I mean,
So it was really cheap.
Yeah, you can go that way.
No, I'm not referring to that way.
But I'm just saying where we've looked at options as far as that, and I even considered it because it does a pretty good job, but it's not hardy equipment.
Right.
You know, it's fairly cheap Chinese equipment, but it does a good job. If you wanted to look at today, you could call up as a phone. You can see any of those cameras around Mill Street. And then, of course, when we had a situation at the police station where the city took a inexpensive choice 10 years ago when the chief of the police station was built, whatever, and it wound up the guy was the only support for it. He died, and we had to go back and start from scratch, kind of at the police station, and so at the.
A lot of the camera systems are.
Oh, you haven't, okay, you haven't tackled that problem yet, but it was problematic. I finally wound up because of the Verkada. They have a lot of schools that they work for. They do equipment in hospitals and things like that. I didn't bring a sheet with all of them, but it's quite extensive in the state of Texas. And I just felt, and we discussed the proprietary nature of it. That's a potential negative.
Did they give us a 10-year license option? I know they gave us a 1-year and a 3-year.
And a 5-year.
And a 5-year.
Did we talk to our school district partners and see what kind of cameras they use? Did we talk to any other industry? Did we talk to SLR, see what kind of camera systems they use? Did we?
No, sir. We've talked about it for 3 years, the chief and I, and when Barbara was here, and now this, and we felt like we had a good handle on it. But maybe if that's what you want us to do, then we'll go back and
Personally? I can't speak for council, but personally, as mayor, I think we should go out to some of these other people who use big camera systems and say, is there something you're using, Rockdale ISD, that you like, and how's it performed? What's the cost? What's the pros? What's the cons? I think we could do maybe a little bit more research and maybe find a better cost effect. I don't know, but I think we should maybe dig a little deeper.
Don't hurt to try.
The guy that does my auto repair, he's got a system. I mean,
He probably see us right now.
yeah.
And I am no discredit to the work you've done.
No, I'm not taking offense at it. No, that's fine.
You know, that was one of the questions that I asked in regard to at the end of 3 years, and that's why we did include, you know, what the cost would be for licensing to extend it to the life of the camera, which is 10-year, you know, expected to be 10-year warranty.
This may be a dumb question, but what does a license agreement mean? What does that consist of? We get to
So there's
use their
software that
product and
goes-
their software and their cloud for the 3 years?
Yeah, so their software, that in order to use their camera, you have to use their software. And so it's just like you get licensed for any software. You're only licensed to use it for a specific.
So we wouldn't, after the 3-year license agreement ran out, we wouldn't have access to any of the footage unless
Unless we,
extend the contract.
But you have to remember that, you know, this is not long, I mean, I'm sure it can stay there long-term. Now, internally, it rewrites over itself, but when it goes to the cloud.
Years worth of storage.
I don't know, you're gonna
That's what you're asking.
keep.
Yeah, I mean,
30 or
you
60
don't want to
days.
keep footage of the front gate of the wastewater treatment plant for
Right.
10 years, and there's not much that you would want to keep that long.
No, I understand. I just want to make sure we still have access to, you know, because with the police station, that was one thing that, and I understand where you're coming from. We put these cameras in there, and then all of a sudden, they weren't capable of doing what we needed to do and to find the person to fix them,
Right.
like, as you said, passed away. I just want to make sure if we're going to put this kind of money in to a camera system, and it sounds like Verkada's around with a lot of schools, they're with a lot of different, they're not going anywhere.
All right.
I mean, that's important.
Right. So,
And it's the proprietary, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and a lot of camera systems do have proprietary software, and it does have to be renewed. Anticipation would be that you would renew it. So we have the option of looking at a 5-year license agreement, as another option as well.
And
If-
I
if
understand
we-
the proprietary.
If we wanted to look at this system.
I understand the proprietary concern. We did not do that with our SCADA system with the company because they were proprietary, and I did not want that in a SCADA system. So I do understand your concern there, and that's not, you know, if that's something you want to revisit, that's up to you. I just think Verkada is a very strong.
I just had a meeting today with Dr. Watson on another issue that is definitely something I can reach out to him and find out who their
That would be my preference. I don't know
IT
how
guy,
council
who
feels
they're
about it.
using.
Mayor, I think if we find some people that are using camera systems now, whether it's a different police department, schools, whatever, and maybe get some
And I can,
ideas of what they're using.
and I've got a network of city managers that I can reach out to and find out what they're using.
Wise investment of time and effort.
I agree with all those things, but
Is it possible that maybe we could start with the police station? Like almost, I would think that the police station would be priority.
This-
I know the wastewater treatment plant and all the rest of it is stuff that has camera systems, but to me, it seems like it's overwhelming to have 3-4 locations with a bunch of new camera equipment, and
So you wouldn't be able to use the funding that we have available in the
it's
utilities
gotta be all at the same time.
for the police department.
Oh,
That would be general fund, which we had to cut.
I want to say something here. I understand that in certain things, certain projects, we have to cut costs, but water is so important, and seeing how our water is potentially threatened at some point, and without water, we have to go back to Maslow, and water is everything, water and safety. So while we do have to cut cost on some things, I don't think we should do this with this. I'm not saying let's go with this company, but I think we should still prioritize something of high quality.
You know how,
Oh, yes, certainly high quality.
Yeah.
I'm not saying go
But
something
but it's
cheap.
fair what you're saying to ask around. But, I mean, like the schools, they're protecting the kids, and as a city, we're protecting the water. And without water, we don't have anything.
So do you know, this proposal is dated March 30th. You know if they will hold this for another 30 days?
Well, they said they'd hold it till tonight, and, so they stretched it. He had to go to the sales guy had to go to his boss and ask that, so they might or they might not. I couldn't guarantee it.
Is the 11,000 at the end of 3 years, we own 45, to continue on, you own approximately 4,500 for the next year, or 11,000 for 3 years. Is that an approximate as well?
Tim did those numbers, so.
Yes, that is based on their current bids. So I would expect that they will go up, but they're based, this 11,000, they gave us proposal for 1 year and 3 year. And so this is their cost for their licensing for 3 years is 11,000 for this, all the cameras involved here. It's about 4,500. I did round up a few $100, but it is, 3 years, if 3 years from now, it might be more. It probably will be more.
Oh, not probably. If it's not written in here, you can count on that.
It will go up.
I just don't have any way now of saying, hey, what are you gonna charge me 3 years from now for a license agreement?
Is 3 years all the license at one time?
They did offer a 5-year license.
Yes, it did. We had a 1, a 3, and a 5-year for Verkada. I have that in my files, but I don't have it with me.
So this right here is for a 5-year license, so we could,
And what is the life expectancy of this?
10 years.
10 years.
It's a 10-year,
Warranty.
warranty on the cameras.
Well, if we're gonna go back to them and they're signing on for 10 years, I think it would be very important that we know exactly what it's gonna cost us for 10 years, not an approximate. I've been down this road with licensing on stuff, and all of a sudden it got really, really expensive. 4 years in, 5 years in.
The only other thing that they told me was that they did have a price increase July the 1st, and they waived that to keep this on. Again, they still might go another 30 days. I don't know. Just have to wait and see. And I'm fine with starting from, not scratch, but I'm okay with looking at others. Yeah, we're not starting from scratch because we've got a lot of
Like Lynn,
information.
though, I don't wanna be in this 3 years deep and all of a sudden it's double or triple what it was.
Well, what I would propose, and Barbara, you can tell me if this is a legitimate request. If council will authorize me to move forward, confirm that the Verkada system is widely used, and if I'm not comfortable that they're widely used by other cities and other school systems and stuff like that, that I would bring that back. But if they are, then we would be able to potentially move forward. But I would ask them if they're willing to give us a 10-year license agreement and contract for this equipment, and just extend it under those terms.
What do you feel about that, Mayor?
And if you trust me that I will verify the mayor's concerns regarding the system, but if we do get that 10-year license, then that kind of negates one of the biggest concerns regarding
Right.
the negatives that it was. Now, and it could be significantly higher, I mean, obviously, but the license
You ought to do this
agreement.
math right here.
The license agreement for 10 years, could be as much as the equipment itself, but we know what we're doing then, at that point. And we do have money in the budget to do that, potentially, depending upon what the number is.
Do you remember what that, the 5-year number was? Did you have 45 for 1 year, 11,000 for 3 years? Do you remember what the 5-year option was?
No, sir, I don't.
45 for 1, 11 for 3?
For the license agreement?
How to equate.
Anywhere between 3,000 and 4,000 a year is what what you come up with, I guess.
But longer term down the road is probably gonna escalate.
Do you know what the Verizon Cellular Gateway is? Is that a one-time, unit price, or is that something that,
The things that don't have, internet connectivity, that we don't have internet to there, then it's an ongoing cell
well,
cost.
that's probably something we'll pay monthly as well, right? That's
Yes,
so-
yes. Or, well, I think it's on a yearly basis.
Still paying, after that base price, we're still
Yes,
gonna be.
you do have to pay for the cell service for those that that aren't close to our internet.
Is that
I believe the only
line item
one
you're
that-
looking at, Nathan?
Yeah, it's on page 4 of 9 on the link,
I think that's probably for the airport, maybe.
the link quote.
Isn't it the same thing as game cameras? You have game cameras, you can put a memory card in them, but most of them want you to have a cellular connection.
So this is for the PC.
Yeah, well, I don't know, about game cameras, but yeah, they'll have a cellular.
Live
connection.
cameras,
Still
But
be,
this is,
live
but
game
this is a
cameras, you
one-time
need a cellular
cost.
connection.
but there'll still be
But
like a
there-
yearly or a monthly.
There's gonna be, I would assume there's gonna be some kind of,
But I mean, you either put a camera at the wells and you have to go out there and get the information once it happens, or you have it so that it's live, and if you have live, you either have to have the internet or the cell connection.
whether that's an additional fee or the.
Okay. Let's get back in order. Council, what direction do you want to go here?
I would like to know what the cost is for the option for a 10-year license agreement. And I think we check in with other users.
Yeah, like the school district and
school
see what they're using.
I would agree with Councilman Starnes.
So this is gonna take a motion to,
Table it again.
table this. If that's council's wish.
I'll do it. I'll make a motion that we table, agenda item number 13 until further research, including what the cost of a 10-year license agreement, as well as, research within other big camera-using entities within the city or surrounding area for their feedback on their systems.
Second.
A motion and a second on the floor. Is there any discussion? Being no discussion, we vote. All in favor said motion signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Gerald. I've had a request to move agenda item 15 up in front of agenda item 14, council, so we will jump down to agenda item 15. And then we'll go to agenda item 14. So agenda item 15 is consider and take any necessary action on a rezone request for property located at 740 Copeland. Ben, you're up, buddy. Okay. So it is 7:32 PM. I am officially opening the public hearing on agenda item 15 regarding a rezone request for a property located at 740 Copeland. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak during the public hearing? Anyone that wishes to speak during the public hearing? Doesn't appear to be. I'm closing the public hearing at 7:33 PM. Go ahead, Ben.
All right, council, the applicant's not here tonight, and I think it might have to do with the P and Z's recommendation. So they came before us last Tuesday. This is at 740 Copeland, so there's 2 lots out there. These are just south of the youth baseball fields. And it's zoned as single family, which would not allow for a manufactured home to be placed on the site. They've requested to do so. So in that request, they're asking to be rezoned to M1, which would allow for a single manufactured home on that lot. I put in your packets, there was actually a poll done in your comprehensive plan on what your constituents would like to see when we talk about different housing types. And the very, very small line that you see on that picture is what they think of manufactured housing, which they're not a fan of it. So they did not want to see that housing type in your community as you begin to expand. And so with that in mind, the Planning Commission recommended to deny this request.
Mr. Blanchard, are these lots across the street from the lots that they redid the drainage through there and gonna build some, it looks like they're building some kind of concrete.
That's on Wilcox, I think is where you're referring to.
This is, you said south of the baseball, this is on Copeland.
I think it's a street that actually drives into.
Yeah, because
There's a new house that they remodeled.
well, so there's two lots here that's being talked about, but I think what you're referring to, because I know what you're talking about out there, is by the cemetery
Right.
on Wilcox. Right. This is just right on that curve. So, two different things.
Okay.
But yes, the owner moved in a house on the southern lot, which is 736 Copeland. It was a single-family house. They remodeled it. Now they're renting that out. They wanted to do a manufactured home on this lot. I told them they could not do that unless they come before you with this request. So that's how they decided to move forward.
Copeland dead end into the baseball fields?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get my bearings, my decision's the same.
T-ball field right there, that small field.
So there is manufactured housing in the area, but they're all grandfathered in. It's not staff's recommendation to change this zoning because all of those zonings are also single-family where the manufactured housing is.
It's a pretty new one across the street, but there was one there before, right?
There was one there before, so your ordinance allows for a replacement of one if you have allowed it, even if it's grandfathered, and that's what happened in that one's case.
What do they want to rezone to?
So Ben, you're suggesting that we revisit
That we
possibly
denied.
rezone this?
To not.
Is that what you, okay, okay.
The staff's recommendation was not, the planning commission reviewed it. They also concurred that we should not rezone this and keep it as single family.
Not rezone, okay.
Make a motion that we take the recommendation of planning and zoning and to deny this request for
I
rezoning.
will second that.
A motion and second on the floor. Is there any discussion? Be no discussion or vote. All in favor said motion signify by raise your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Moving up to, back up to agenda item number 14.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I don't have 14.
I don't either.
I think it's been removed completely.
There is no item, this is just a workshop that the Plan Commission and Ben are going to be presenting.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
There is no item in your packet for.
thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so we'll jump down to 16. Consider taking any necessary action on ICC codes. You're still up, Ben.
Well, okay, so we're still gonna have the workshop on the planning commission. 16 and 17, if you don't mind tabling that for now. I don't have those ready, because I
I
haven't
don't have
had
a
a
16
chance
or
to.
17 either.
Yeah, they're not ready. They weren't supposed to be on the agenda.
So you're recommending a motion to table both of those items?
Right, and we'll get those back to you as soon as possible.
Council, you can knock that request out in one motion.
I'll make a motion that we table items 16 and 17.
I'll second that.
Have a motion to table regular agenda items number 16 and 17 and a second. Is there any discussion? Being no discussion, we'll vote. All in favor of said motion signify by raise your right hand. Motion passes. Councilman Willie, did you vote?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Did you say we need to go back to 14 though?
Yes.
We do need to go back to 14.
Yes.
Okay. So we are on agenda item number 14. Conduct a workshop on the directions for the planning commission. What you got, Ben?
Okay, so this is just a broad discussion to be had tonight. I have 4 commissioners here, so we have Commissioner Higdon, Commissioner Ratliff, Commissioner Dunkel, and Chair Williams here. I gave them a presentation at a workshop in June about an update to the comprehensive plan because the comprehensive plan asked me to do that. We could give that presentation tonight. I think I'm leaning on not giving it unless you want to see it just because it's a lengthy presentation of what we've done, what the progress is. But in the discussion with the Planning Commission, we had a rezone request come before us for a manufactured home park They weren't really comfortable with the approval of it, but the comprehensive plan asked us to be progressive and try to make that work. So the idea tonight is the planning commission wanted to come before you tonight and ask for direction on how you feel about the comprehensive plan, because we're required by charter to do it every 5 years. But that does not mean that we can't review it now and begin to implement changes that this council would like to see. And so that's more of where this discussion is headed tonight, on what council's feelings are.
There was a comment made at a previous meeting about the comprehensive plan just sitting on a shelf collecting dust and not doing anything. And I think that the presentation that Ben gave, illustrated how alive that document is and how it's being used. It's used more by the plan commission generally than by city council or other boards. But it is relevant, and so I think that's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
Ben, you said that charter says we revisit it every 5 years. Where are we in that cycle right now?
So it was adopted, I believe, in '24. So you're about halfway through now. And some cities will do that. They'll do a smaller visit to the plan to see, so that way they don't just push it all back to the 5. We could do that. Since you adopted that plan, it's really new. I'm not seeing that there'd be that many changes, unless it's just a document that's failed the city and you wanted to get that revised tremendously.
It does, and typically it won't be revised unless there's significant change that happens between the time of the adoption and the time, and that 5-year period. It just says it has to be looked at for consideration every 5 years. Not that it has to be amended every 5 years.
Right.
But it has to be considered.
What is the planning commission's thoughts regarding the relevance of that plan? I want your honest thoughts. I don't want fluff.
So my thoughts coming into this workshop was the main thing that needs to be like the gap that needs to be bridged. We're all looking at the same document. I think we need to have a better idea as a planning and zoning commission as to where y'all think the focus is for y'all and your representation on your end. Because we can be looking at the same document doesn't mean that we're thinking the same thing and heading in the same direction. So I think this really needs to be just kind of getting y'all's perspective on what aspects of the comprehensive plan need focused on, and like where we're deficient, where we're overabundant, and maybe need to back off, that kind of thing. Because that was kind of something that I heard come out in the previous meeting when the mobile home park came through. Was we were kind of like, we did the best we could with it, and it was still shot down by y'all, which completely understand given the comprehensive plan. And we just need to kind of get on the same page as far as where we're at and where we're headed with the specific points on the plan.
And I think it's really important for council to understand what the comprehensive plan is and what it isn't in regard to, it's not a strategic plan necessarily. It does make some strategic recommendations, but it's really a document that guides decisions that the plan commission makes in regard to recommendations to council, and also then the council's decisions that you make in regard to things like this request for the rezoning tonight. It's supposed to guide those types of decisions.
Joan?
Yeah, I think she's gonna say something.
Go ahead.
Well, something comes before us that basically meets the ordinance, but it may not be favorable to the community, or to y'all, for example, like the mobile home situation. We just want an idea of what your take is on that, because we spend a lot of time debating it, and we want to make sure that it just doesn't fail, I guess, in a way. We want to be in sync.
And we're talking about the comprehensive plan that group put together for us about 4 years ago. It's a beautiful plan.
Mid-century plan, or however you.
It's a very,
I was gonna ask that question. So that we're all talking on the same terms, how many different plans are out there? There was a plan that the MDD put together for the 79 corridor, East 79 corridor. What is that called?
That was not adopted.
That was not adopted,
no.
but it exists still.
Yes, sir.
And what is it called?
That was the East Cameron Avenue Corridor Vision Plan.
We paid for it too.
Okay.
So this comprehensive plan was put together by, what was the group's name? Freeze and Nichols.
Yeah.
And it's a big plan. And it talks about feeder streets, it talks about turning alleys into sitting places for restaurants. It's very detailed. It is a nice plan. Is it in my opinion, is it 100% applicable to Rockdale? Probably not. At least not within the next 10 years. In the next 20 years, maybe so. That's my opinion.
What was it built on? What was their charge? Were they asked to put a 5-year, a 10-year, or 20? What is it based off of?
Again, it was not necessarily, it's not a strategic plan, and I would really encourage y'all to, if you don't still have a copy of it, to break it out and take a look at it, because what it does is it sets up future land use, and it does lay out some priorities in regard to utilities and what we need to do in regard to utilities, which we're doing. It had, what are the other components, Ben?
Well, so we can pull up the presentation really quickly, if you want, and I can go to a certain slide, because there's, what the plan did, it's really just a guide. It's a roadmap for you to try to get to the point that the plan's saying, not necessarily get to the images that it's showing. If you'll go pretty far to the end, you'll see some tables with different colors on it. That's kind of where I want to get to. Keep going. It's towards the end. Keep going a little bit more. Okay,
So the street analysis that the Plan Commission conducted last year, that was recommended by the comprehensive plan.
So this is an example of, so this affects more my area. They gave an action table of if it was short-term, mid-term, or long-term, of how long it's going to take. Their definition of long-term, essentially what they mean is you're going to do it continually forever. It's more of, for example, one of them was reach out to developers, see what the development trends are in your area, so that way you can update your ordinances. You'll always do that. There won't be a one-time I reach out to a certain developer, then I won't talk to them ever again. That's more of what they deemed as a long-term. But on that table, when I gave the presentation, the brown was the continual, that's the action that we're taking. The green is something that was more of a one-time action that was completed when we talked about it. But that's an example. If we went through each of those, which for time's sake, I'm not going to unless you want me to, most of those are policy guiders for the staff to look at or the planning commission to look at to reach a goal. It doesn't take money to do that. It doesn't get you to the images of, like the mayor said, where you have the alleys that are paid for seating. That's not what this is going to do. That's an idea in the plan that may or may not be relevant. But the important piece is this, to make sure that this plan is being used. And so the planning commission is doing that, but we don't want to do it if it's not applicable to this council. And so your charter asks us to come to you annually and check in and see, are we on the right path with how we're going with this comp plan and how we're taking action? Is there areas of concern that we want to focus on for the next year? As Commissioner Higdon said, that's the point of this discussion.
So, you really need us as a council to go back through and look at this and say, is this still where you're wanting to steer the city based off of this? So that y'all can make decisions on planning and zoning based off of that information. Is that?
I think the idea is to work hand in hand with the council, not necessarily to work against the council. And so if the council does not see the comprehensive plan as a benefit, then the planning commission needs to begin to start working on potential amendments to the comprehensive plan. But if the comprehensive plan is pretty relevant, then we'll continue to work with it as closely as we're working with it. I've personally taken it as this is the most important document that I work with. It's more important than your city ordinances. The reason it is because this is the only document that you've ever gone to your citizens and you've asked for their input directly before adoption. You've had 12 or 13 workshops with them. So on my behalf, that's why I work with it as closely as I do. Doesn't mean that they didn't implement elements that citizens didn't ask for. I'm not saying that. But what I'm asking for is your guidance on that. Is this relevant? And we need to keep working on it with how we are, or should we start looking at this and bringing recommendations to council on whatever your priorities are?
Well, if it's required every 5 years by charter and we're 2.5 years into it, why wouldn't it be a good exercise to do it every 2.5 years? And so that you don't get 5 years down the road and have to basically start over. I guess continual maintenance of it is really what we need to be doing. So you said that we had workshops with the public and asked for their input. This is a question, do we do that again? Or do we sit down with planning and zoning and do that as a workshop together with them? I feel like that's the way we truly all get on the same page of what direction we're asking you all to say yay or nay to, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could do it either way, to be quite honest with you. I'll use an example. If you want to talk about the different housing types that are allowed in Rockdale, you would probably do that in a public setting as if there was a Rockdale Tiger football game. I'd set up a booth outside with maybe a couple of planning commission members, and we would poll them on what different housing types you're comfortable seeing in the city of Rockdale. And then we'd take that back to a planning commission meeting. Council's always invited, and we could do a potential quorum notice and hash out what those details would look like. That's just an example. You can always just tackle it in a meeting setting, because meeting settings are always public. It just kind of depends what council and what the planning commission want to start trying to amend would be.
My suggestion would be to pull it out, review it individually, set up a joint workshop to kind of figure out if we're all on the same page, if it's relevant, or if there's things that changed or whatever, and then make the determination whether or not, we start having public hearings. But really, at this point right now, you don't want to necessarily have the public hearings unless it is necessary. So it is a really good document and valuable, and we have been following it in a lot of different actions. Some things are a little bit behind schedule, but some things are right on target, and some of the projections may be behind schedule, but that doesn't change the direction or what the vision is that the plan establishes. But so I just we actually have a couple of new board members on that were not here in July of 2024 when it was adopted. It was basically 2 years ago that they adopted it, and or that y'all adopted it.
Well, you've got new council members since this was put in place.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah. So now you have advantage. I think that you have one from the Plan Commission. Two from the Plan Commission. There you go. So, but I do ask that you do break it out, not make any decisions tonight, but look at it, and we talk about it again in the future, and determine whether or not we want to have a joint workshop with the Plan Commission to just focus on that.
I would recommend, I like the idea, but I don't like in the future. I think in the future, it's kicked down the road a long time if you're not careful. So I would say let's put some targets out there instead of just in the future of when this is going to happen.
Okay.
I need those targets. I'm one that needs a target.
Well, it's a big document. It will take some time to review, but I don't want to come into the meeting and
Sure.
I'm going to have the opportunity to have you all review it before that meeting.
Well, more planned out in the future is like just having a publicly recorded, consolidated section that is y'all as council, so and every new council to come really to give us guidance so that we can show that to whoever joins us next on planning and zoning, and we can kind of all be working as what I see us as is like a component of what y'all are trying to accomplish here in your term. So in order to work together like that, we have to have some sort of like consolidated. And there's been things that we've come across, like the monument signs being the preference over the pole signs, the East Ward having more modular homes than maybe we want in that long-term plan, stuff like that. That's kind of come along as it's popped up, and I think that having some consolidation with it that we can share with future planning and zoning commissioners would be really helpful.
So that workshop could be open to the public, right?
It would be open to the public. Any workshop is going to be open to the public.
And monument signs are now an ordinance, by the way.
Right, yeah.
I wanted to say, that was part of one of the things I wanted to say. I was looking at Murphy's, and their new sign's up. And then I saw the health clinic, and I was going, this looks good.
I
I'm
agree,
coming into
Doug.
Rockdale, and this looks good.
I agree.
Guys, some of the things we do actually have some good benefits. Yeah. Some of the waves that we're going to be hit with, and just letting you guys know, we've had 4, 5 people coming with manufactured homes or RV park rezones. There's a lot of interest, and everybody thinks it's just okay to bring a trailer or a manufactured home, a temporary RV, like a weekend stay RV park. We're getting hit with some strange requests. We kind of need to know where you guys, there's this thing about auxiliary dwellings. It's a topic that here, it's not an issue. It's coming, so. Anyway, that's why we wanted to talk to you guys and
I
get a
think that's
feel.
very important for you to know. I mean, I could tell you my answer now, but I don't think you want it, but.
I think I know my answer too. But
Some of this stuff is state legislated, so we can't totally.
fair housing.
I don't want to
yeah.
stray outside the law.
Well, I'll keep
Publicly.
you in it.
That's,
A lawyer wants a timeout. Yeah, this is not the time.
yeah, but, not for
You need
instance.
that time.
Yeah, don't be baiting me, Doug.
No, I'm saying there's some things that, she's right, we need to get together and just kind of figure out. who are
Absolutely,
we.
absolutely.
Who are we?
Well, the final pin I'll throw in the cup, just of why we're here, is if we got the no match grant to do a code rewrite, so that's in the preliminary stages. When that's coming, the goal is to make what's called a unified development code, which combines your subdivision regulations and your zoning ordinance. So there will be major documentation coming to the planning commission and city council. And so in these workshops, we really need your guidance as we start making those major rewrites, because we're really outdated with our zoning ordinance. And so it's going to be a lot of discussion. And right now, we're going off of what the comprehensive plan says. We can still do that, but you might have some further amendments that you'd like to see past the comprehensive plan. So
Okay,
So we're just workshopping right now, so.
yeah.
We're workshopping to set up a workshop, right?
Correct.
Correct. And I think we need it. I haven't seen that in a minute, so I'm.
That would
I
be
need a
very
copy.
helpful
I need a
for us all.
copy.
It's certainly important for us all to be on the same page and working in the same direction. That's critical.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, certainly. Thank you. Anybody else? Anything else?
Good job.
Council, planning, zoning, anything else? Okay.
How far out do we think that has to go?
After budget, right?
After budget, yeah, probably the next 2 months.
What's the question?
After
How
budget.
far out do we need, where's my target?
2 months.
I will get feedback from y'all when you're ready to have that.
I would say after budget at least.
I mean, we do have a number of special meetings in, we have one special meeting this month, at the end of this month, and I think 3 3 meetings in August, so probably we'll look at September.
September, October, that workshop happening? Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Council, I have 8 PM. We are adjourning. Sir,
Can I have 30 seconds?
yes,
30 seconds. Because of the cost of the 10-year plan, I had
we're
put that out
officially
on
not
my-
adjourned. Go ahead,
Oh,
Gerald.
I'm sorry. Because of the cost of the 10-year plan, I had put it out of my mind. We did get a quote for a 10-year plan. It's $99,748.74, just for information purposes.
Okay, so I'm glad we're going out to look for other alternatives.
99,000 for
$99,978.
Versus the 60.
That must be total.
That's a
with that.
67.
Oh, okay, so it's included in that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
I'm sorry, but I just.
That's all right, Gerald. You're good, buddy. Okay, so I have 8 PM. We are adjourning
No.
out of open session.
Please don't use that term.
Ma'am?
Please don't use the term adjourn.
Oh, okay. We're convening.
Recessed.
We're recessed
We're
and we're
recessing
convening
and
into
reconvene.
closed session
Please.
at 8 PM
Thank you.
Talk like a lawyer.
to discuss the following. Under Government Code Sections 551074 and 551072, to deliberate about the annual evaluation of the city manager, deliberate about purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property for the purpose of commercial development inside the district boundaries for the project viewers, deliberate about purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property for the proposed purpose of the commercial development inside the boundaries of for the project roller coaster. 8 PM, we are convening into executive session. Okay, I have 9:54 PM. We are reconvened into open session. Council, is there any action coming out of closed session?
I'd like to make a motion to support the MDD's proposal in their negotiations and efforts to Project Coors.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any discussion? Being no discussion, will vote. All in favor said motion signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Council, is there any other business to take care of tonight? Being none, we are now officially adjourned at 9:55 PM.